Excel essentials. Today, we're building a solid foundation. You can really think of your Excel skills a lot like building a house. You absolutely need to pour that rock-solid foundation first before you can even think about putting up the walls.
But before we get into the nuts and bolts, let me ask you something. Have you ever spent, say, 20 minutes crafting the absolute perfect formula? You hit enter, you feel like a total genius, right? But then you drag it down the column and you just watch it break into this terrifying cascade of errors. You know the ones, the dreaded div/0 or value, just staring back at you, totally mocking your hard work. It's a highly relatable pain. And honestly, it usually just means your foundational knowledge has a tiny crack in it. You can have the fanciest roof in the world, but without that strong base, the whole thing collapses under stress. We're going to solve that forever today. To fix that, and to drastically speed up everything you do, we are equipping your power tool belt with 3 absolute essentials: navigation and action shortcuts, cell references, and named ranges. Think of these as your magical weapons that will literally multiply your productivity. Let's get to work. All right, the absolute first step to becoming a true Excel power user is taking your hands off the mouse. Seriously. Every time you manually click through the ribbon up top, you're losing fractions of a second, and those add up to hours over a year. Instead, lean on these must-know shortcuts. On the navigation side, hitting Control plus Home or Control plus End jumps you to the very edges of your data instantly. Control plus the arrow keys will bounce you all over the place, totally skipping the endless scrolling. And for actions, beyond your standard copy and paste, you have beautiful tricks like Alt plus equals for an instant auto-sum. Master these, and you'll be flying through spreadsheets before your colleagues have even found their cursor. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the introduction of a single, completely unassuming key sitting at the top of your keyboard that changes absolutely everything: the F4 key. This isn't just a regular button, it is the ultimate lifesaver for copying formulas correctly. It's the exact tool that prevents that terrifying cascade of errors we talked about earlier. Really, if you remember one mechanical trick from this explainer, make it the F4 key. Let's actually slow down a bit here and walk through the visual journey of what this key does. When you're editing a cell reference in a formula and you press F4, you cycle through 4 distinct states. You start with a standard reference, like A1. That's relative. Press F4 once and boom, it injects $2 giving you $A$1, which is fully absolute. Press it again, it drops $1 to give you A$1. That's your absolute row. Press it a third time, you get $A1 for the absolute column. And one more press, you're right back to the start. It is this perfect, completely predictable cycle. So what do those $signs actually mean? Let's clear this up so there's zero confusion. An absolute reference is simply a cell reference that locks a column, a row, or both using that $sign, so it never, ever shifts when you copy it. I like to picture those $signs as heavy steel anchors. They are the structural blueprint of your spreadsheet house, making sure things stay exactly where you put them, no matter how far down or across you drag your formula. Okay, let's break down exactly when to use each type, straight from our source materials guidelines. Relative references, like A1, adapt when they're copied. You use these when your formulas should shift across rows or columns. Fully absolute, like $A$1, never shifts. You'd use this to lock in a constant, like a specific tax rate, or a global discount percentage parked in one specific cell. Then you've got mixed references, which are kind of the secret sauce of advanced users. Absolute column, $A1, locks the column but lets the row change. An absolute row, A$1, locks the row but lets the column shift. Knowing exactly when to drop which anchor is what makes your spreadsheets truly robust. And this brilliantly illustrates our next major leap in Excel mastery: named ranges. Just take a look at the formula on the left. It works, mechanically, but man, it's ugly, it's abstract, and auditing it is a total nightmare. Now look at the right. It's beautiful. It reads just like plain English. I always use a phone contact analogy for this. Think about it. You wouldn't dial a friend's 10-digit number from memory every single time you want to call them, right? No way. You just type their name into your phone. Well, Excel works the exact same way. You can assign names to cells and just use those names in your math. So the crucial point is how we actually set this up in the software. And honestly, it's wonderfully straightforward. You just navigate up to the Formulas tab on your ribbon, click Define Name, and a little dialog box pops up. You enter your chosen name, let's say tax rate, and remember, no space is allowed in there. Then you pick its scope and set what it refers to, like locking it to cell $B$1. And boom, you've just created your first named range. Now, your formulas are instantly self-documenting. If you hand this sheet to a coworker, they know exactly what your math is doing without playing detective.
Now, as you start building more of these named ranges, you're obviously going to need a way to keep track of them all. That's exactly where the name manager comes in, located right there under the Formulas tab. Think of this as your central hub for auditing and cleaning up. You can edit existing names, delete the obsolete ones, cluttering up your file, and really manage your scope. And scope is vital, guys. By default, names are workbook wide, meaning tax rate means the exact same thing on every single sheet. But setting a name scope to a specific sheet avoids messy conflicts if you happen to have multiple sheets sharing a similar structure. Before we wrap up our foundation building, I have to enthusiastically highlight this massive pro tip directly from the source material. If you have a huge table of data and you need to name multiple columns, please do not do it one by one. Just select the entire range, including the headers, go to the Formulas tab, and hit Create from Selection. Excel will automatically grab your top row headers and instantly turn them into named ranges for all the data below them. It takes literally 2 seconds, it completely upgrades your workbook's architecture, and it is a total game changer for writing formulas at lightning speed. So we've covered taking your hands off the mouse for lightning fast navigation, the pure magic of the F4 key, the structural integrity of those absolute references, and the beautiful clarity of named ranges. These foundations are going to transform your tedious, repetitive tasks into incredibly rapid-fire executions. You aren't just typing numbers into a grid anymore. You are truly engineering a spreadsheet. So, with this rock-solid base firmly in place, what complex, amazing data structures are you going to build next? Keep exploring and keep building.